Steve, it's Monday after the weekend where it was a tiny little show, 4-4s. But the main reason why you went ahead was because we had 2 kids making their debuts, wasn't it?
Yeah, and also we'd committed for someone coming over from Ireland, and we'd committed to help Morel Silver out as well, and he's got a big fight and he needed a bit of a tune-up because he'd been inactive for a long time. So when I just looked at it, I just thought, really and truthfully, we shouldn't be doing it, but there's a lot of people who'll be let down, and including the venue as well. And you know, in a way, we was just unlucky. We've always gone with 7 fights. We lost a couple, we put a couple more on, and we always had it. And then on Friday, you know, Rhino Rourke, who's been fighting in America, was still on the show. And then after accepting his medicals, the board changed their mind and then pulled him off late on Friday. So, you know, that 6th round would have made it a little bit better than what it was. But to be fair, and that's something you have to take into consideration, as well as not letting people down. A lot of the people who do just come to watch one fight. You know, they bought the tickets off, and that was proven on the night as well. So we had no complaints, and all the fights went the distance, and there was a couple of decent ones in there, and you know, we've done it, but it's like the 3rd on the bounce where we've been let down, and you know what? A lot of it's our own fighters. Normally it's away fighters, isn't it? But it is what it is, and I just can't do these small shows no more. It's just not worth the stress and then putting on what you don't think's a value for money show for the punters, even though, as I say, there wasn't one complaint. So, like, moving forward, we're going to start off with 10 fights on every show now, and if we lose 2 or 3, we'll still have 7, which is more than enough for your normal boxing fan. So, you know, we've got a break, which is unusual here, isn't it? So we don't go again till the 7th of June, which is
a big one.
A real big show at Bolton. At the moment, we've got 11 on that card, looking to add 1 more to make it the dirty dozen. Tickets are flying out for it. Some will go wrong. We won't end up with the full 12, but you know, it's going to be a real good night, and we're going to do that with VIP YouTube and also boxing news. We took the call not to put this one out on YouTube on Saturday because there was only the 4 fights, but you know, that one we go in there, and then we go from there to Hull, which we're going in the big arena, which holds 4,000 people.
It's a lovely arena, that, isn't it?
It was the Bonex Arena, but it's called the Connect Arena now, and you know, we're putting a big card together for that. Hopefully have 10 fights on that one, and then 5th of July we got a Wigan. We've got 10 fights on there, and you know, we've got 6 local Wigan kids on that, so that's already that's all selling well. And then last week we announced the first stadium show that we've ever done at VIP Boxing, and we're doing a joint venture with Wakefield Rugby on that. We've got the massive trilogy fight, you know, to try and find out who's the best with Dom Hunt and James Moorcroft. And
each time, you know, it's been upgraded, because now this time, and they're both fighting for the WBA International.
Yeah.
Which is a brilliant opportunity for both of them.
Yeah, so you know, with it being on the stadium, we thought at least we can do is put a good strap on for it there. And to be fair, we only announced it, I think, Thursday, Friday last week, and we've had a great response on that, and we're expecting that to sell out, because obviously we're not doing the full pitch and the full stadium. So yeah, that's been good. But going back to this, Lee, you know, the show started off with Aaron O'Donoghue, who'd come over from Ireland, as I say. You know, he brought a few over with him, and I believe they were on our show because we've been letting down somewhere else. So it was some thing towards a decision. He was not with us.
In Manchester.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't a little bad fight. That Jacob Mallard already tries and does that. And then we had Jess Wolfenden making her debut, and obviously she was just a normal amateur. She fought Kira Carter, who used to be on the England squads and everything like that, and she beat her, and obviously the first fight with nerves and everything like that. I think we'll see improvements for Jess as we move on, but you know, that's a good win on a debut for her. And then we had Joseph McGuinness, who was a reasonable amateur, wasn't he? And he got tagged with a couple in the first round and gave us a scare. Is probably the polite way of doing it. I was shitting myself at one stage there because Joe had sold a load of tickets and on short notice because he'd had a couple of fights where medicals didn't get to, and then he got ill, so he'd only been on this a short time, and he sold every ticket we gave him. So you know, we wasn't expecting what we seen in the first round, but do you know what I've been thinking about over the weekend?
He recovered well, didn't he, mate?
And what he shown was a load of balls as well.
He
because
did.
He come back and he won the fight, and you know, he stuck to a game plan which he hadn't done in the first round. And again, we talked about Jess with nerves. Joe must have had a few nerves as well, and you know, he showed some cojones, and you don't normally find that out with fighters till after about 8 or 9 fights, do they?
Yeah,
but, no. At least we know now that he wants it, and he's obviously going to improve from that. And you know, he's an exciting fighter, working well with the jab early doors, wasn't he? And he tell you, give us a scare, but he come through and ticked lots of boxes, which you don't really want him to do on his debut, but he done that there, didn't he? And then obviously Mario Silva, don't know where his opponent was from. He might have been Polish because Big Pav was in his corner. I'm not too sure, but
I think he's in Russian. Did he fight? He fought Mason Cartwright just before Christmas, didn't he?
Right.
And prior to that, at Leeds, he'd been on our show against Sean Arkwright.
Right,
okay. Did Leeds. So
right, okay. Right. I thought I knew him, but yeah, he caused him a few problems, didn't he? And certainly made it hard for Mario to look good, and you know, he tucked up well, and I know he was a bit disappointed with his performance, but he shouldn't be, you know what I mean? He's been inactive, and that'll be great for him to get his 4 rounds out before he goes on the Sky Show early June, and obviously he'll fight better because of that. So, you know, it worked out well for him, and obviously now when you think that we had him on the card, that you know, if we wouldn't have done, we'd have probably had to pull the show, wouldn't it? Because he gets a certain limit of how many you can do. But as I say, the Rhino Rock one fell through, Thomas Ferry fell through, and Jake Abreu fell through, Tyrone Bowen Price retired, Yusuf Said pulled out, you know, yeah, just another nightmare, which is 3 on the bounce. But
inside the auditorium, the crowd really did have a good time, because Louise did the post-fight interviews, and it went on the screen, and I just think, you know, we made something good out of something. Yeah, and it passed a bit of time for the venue, because, you know, it affects everybody, doesn't it? You know, this is a team thing, and it's the venues, you got your trainers, you got your managers, you got the boxers, you got the promoters. You know, we've got to think of everyone when we're doing it, and listen, we stuck to it. We've got it out of the way. We're not doing the small shows again. There's going to be minimum 10 to start with, where hopefully we'll have 7, and then everyone can come away happy, because I come away happy because we've done it, but you know, you go into it and you think, should we be doing this or shouldn't be that? But no, it's done. We've got some real good cards to look forward to, and I'm feeling happy. As I say, June the 7th the next big one, June the 28th up in Hull, July the 5th in Wigan, and then we've got July the 12th, our first outdoor event, which I'm excited about. And then it's
there's
the
a lot
little
of build
summer
up
break
and
then,
promotions on that, yeah.
Is it the little summer break then after the Wakefield?
Not too sure yet, but we'll make a mind up on whether we're doing one more in between that or not.
Right, nice one, Steve.
Cheers.
See you in a few weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye, mate.
Bye.
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.